Too smart to keep being dumb. Imagine this. It's the 21st century. We have access to all of humanity's knowledge with just a few clicks. We can decode genetics, explore space, and even order food without leaving the couch. And yet in the midst of all this progress, millions of people still believe in tarot cards, astrology, and rituals to cleanse bad energy. How is it possible that the same civilization that built the Large Hadron Collider is still afraid of Mercury retrograde? The truth is brutal. Irrational thinking isn't a glitch in modern humanity. It's part of its design. The human brain didn't evolve to find truth. It evolved to survive. And believing in the irrational, as much as we hate to admit it, has always been part of that survival strategy. Since Aristotle, humans have been defined as rational animals. What Aristotle forgot to mention is that rationality is just a buggy add-on we use occasionally, like a beta app running on our biological operating system. In reality, magical thinking and irrationality aren't glitches in humanity. They're core features of our brain. Because even though we can now build artificial intelligence, explore the cosmos, and understand relativity, our brain still functions like that of a caveman who suspects an eclipse is divine punishment. If reason were truly our foundation, tarot would have died out long ago. Astrology would be a joke, and no one would talk about energies. But that's not the case. So why do we keep believing in the irrational when we have more information than ever? The answer lies in neuroscience. The human brain wasn't designed for truth, it was designed for survival. It didn't evolve to seek objective facts, but to detect patterns and create narratives that make the world feel understandable. A caveman who heard rustling in the bushes and ran away survived more often than the one who stayed to check if it was just the wind. And today, we apply the same mechanism. We see coincidences and interpret them as signs.
I dreamed about my ex and they texted me. Is it fate? Every time I wear this shirt, I have a good day at work. I felt weird energy in that house. It must be haunted. This isn't logic.
It's biology playing tricks on our perception. Our brain also sees intentions where there are none. We are pattern-detecting machines, and if something happens, we instinctively assume someone or something made it happen. In ancient times, lightning had to be the wrath of a god. Today, if things go wrong, it must be Mercury retrograde. We don't choose to be irrational. Our brain prefers explanations with intent over accepting the chaos of the universe. And even when logic does kick in, it comes late. Emotion comes first, reason comes later. The rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, is the last part to activate. Before it does, fear, intuition, and instinct take over. That's why people cling to tarot, astrology, or spiritual cleansings. Not because they're rational, but because they provide emotional comfort. Saying, "Your life will improve" in a mystical tone is far more effective than saying, "Make better decisions and go to therapy." Mysticism offers certainty in an uncertain world. Science, on the other hand, gives us probabilities and variables, which is much less appealing. And even when faced with overwhelming evidence, our brains will do anything to protect their beliefs. When the truth is uncomfortable, we prefer the lie. This is cognitive dissonance in action. Our brain hates admitting it's wrong. When reality contradicts our beliefs, we don't change our minds. We look for excuses. If someone believes in homeopathy, and you show them studies proving it's just a placebo, they won't say, "You're right." They'll say, "Big Pharma is hiding the truth." Mystical thinking survives because it's easier than accepting the randomness of the universe. But believing in the irrational isn't just a personal choice, it's a social one. Beliefs bring people together. Doubt drives them apart. A group of friends who believe in astrology reinforce each other. If one says classic Gemini, the rest nod and laugh. If someone interrupts with, "There's no evidence that zodiac signs influence personality," they're not just challenging an idea, they're disrupting the group dynamic. Believing in the irrational isn't just about individual psychology, it's about belonging. And that's where the paradox gets brutal. The more knowledge humanity acquires, the more we cling to the irrational. We've built machines that process more data in a second than a human will in a lifetime, and we still draw tarot cards to ask the universe if we should switch jobs. We've built a society where logic can predict natural disasters with millimeter precision, and we still trust horoscopes to understand our personality. Rationality has never been the foundation of human nature. It's just a tool we use sometimes, when it suits us. So why do we keep believing in the irrational in the middle of the information age? Because the brain doesn't seek truth. It seeks certainty, connection, and comfort. We cling to superstitions because they make us feel safe. We'd rather believe there's a grand design than accept the absurdity of the world. And when something doesn't fit our beliefs, we simply adjust reality until it does. Science can teach us how the universe works, but people will always find reasons to believe in whatever makes them feel better. And maybe that's the most uncomfortable truth of all. If this idea made you think, subscribe to 277 Broadcast. Share this episode with someone who still believes the moon affects their mood. And remember, the human mind doesn't seek truth, it just seeks something to believe in.